Welcome back to Best There Is Games podcast. Ernie here, looking sad, it looks like. Just from the angle. And then we have Declan over there.
Just from the angle. Any angle will cover my sadness.
Let me look at your sad side. Oh wait, it's all sad side.
All sad. What's your secret, Ernie?
Is it Maybelline?
It's not Maybelline.
You do have long eyelashes.
Is it L'Oreal?
I do. That's the one thing girls would comment on and never got any further than that. Well, people actually...
Hold on. What would you want progressed beyond that?
Well, if I talk to
we
girls...
suck on your eyelashes.
Is that the thing you've been commented most by girls? Is your
I'm talking about when I was single, like in high school and stuff.
Yeah, is that the thing people mention most?
My hair. I used to always have good hair.
Okay.
I still have good hair. What am I saying? It's just...
you have hair. It's there.
It grooms well. Like, I could groom it pretty well.
You just decided not to groom it well.
Now I don't give a fuck because I'm married. But
yeah, you just get the Hawkeye cut. Done.
Wife just gets the leftovers.
No, she's still... she'll tell me she doesn't like haircuts. But she's like me faded now. But, no, like when you're talking to girls, like, there's certain things that I guess you could peacock, and I didn't have really nothing to peacock. I was a bigger kid like I am now, not as big as I am now. But people would bring up, like, girls would be like, you have really pretty eyelashes. I'm like, thanks, but that doesn't get you a direct door to paradise. Like,
No. Should it?
it'd be nice to have a chance to talk to, I don't want to say women because it was young girls at the time, but that sounds gross. But it'd be nice to have a window to talk to young girls.
All right.
Yeah, but it'd be nice to have biceps and. Well, I mean, I was a little bit in shape, but whatever. But the thing is, the thing is, yes, that was brought up always, and it's always brought up. And old people bring it up to you. How old people are. Like, you're so handsome, but oh my gosh, your eyelashes and stuff like that.
Wait, they said you're so handsome, but oh my gosh, your eyelashes. Like, you're handsome except for your eyelashes?
No, they throw in the eyelashes on top of it. And then when my son was born, we could just see he had banger eyelashes on him. So we're like, yeah, he's gonna have some nice eyelashes. Mm-hmm. And most time girls bring it up more than anything. They're always like, I'm jealous because they want long ones or whatever. But it's funny because it seems like more guys have longer eyelashes than girls.
Well, look at how parts of the animal kingdom are. The males are supposed to be the pretty ones.
I fucked up that.
Yeah, you did. What happened?
I mean, dude, when I put the girl filter app on, holy hell, dude, I look like some girl that just got fucking let herself go at her quinceañera or some shit. Like, I'm like...
How come you didn't, I've never seen this.
I don't know. Crystal's done it before for me on the apps where it changes your gender. Holy fuck, dude, I'm an ugly-ass girl.
I gotta try that out.
There's some people that are actually good-looking, like, girls. They're like, wow, you're a good-looking girl.
Does that make you feel weird?
No, I mean, I'm comfortable with my sexuality. There's this one famous, you always make fun of how I say omegle or whatever the fuck it's called, omelet.
You said it right.
When people pop up, no, I think it's omelet for realsies.
No, what I mean though is you were like,
anyways,
you always think you're fucking up.
This dude pops up and he looks kind of like Aquaman, Jason Momoa, but prettier, cleaner, pretty eyes, and every dude on there's like, damn, dude, I don't want to make you feel uncomfortable, but dude, you're hella hot, dude. You're like a hot dude. So it's funny that all these guys are like one-on-one. They don't try to hit it. They just go, yeah. I just want to tell you, you're a good-looking dude. It's like they're like you're a pretty-looking guy.
Yeah, some people just can appreciate you.
And there is guys that you're like, oh, that's a pretty-ass dude. Like, I can't. If some dude's like, hey, do you think Justin Timberlake's not hot? I'm like, no, that dude's hot. Like, he's a hot dude. Would I put my weenus in him? No, I'm not going to put it in there. I'm not like that. But do I wish I had some of his attributes, just look so clean in this movie? I mean, motherfucker's like older than me, and he looks still 16 and shit.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that happened that he decided to do that have kept him that way.
I mean, I don't know what. I mean, he just has... Some people grow up with baby faces, dude.
It's true. I mean, you got that.
People say I have a baby face.
Yeah, you look like a fucking... Well, you're fucking young anyways, yeah.
Life hasn't railed you.
You haven't been fucked over yet.
Not deeply. not DP.
Thanks, guys. You're just extending.
Actually, all holes. I'm
You
sorry.
want to talk about toxic fan bases?
I mean, I enjoy talking about him saying he's a DP or something. I don't know.
By life, not me. By life. Bastard.
I can't wait till we're someone known so I get fan mail.
I can't wait till someone knows so I can have
Because I
our
can be like,
fans do everything for me.
this guy, blah, 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 wants to know, Lucas,
I just want
do
people
you,
to
do you
tell me
grow
something.
your pews out or do you shave, you know? And
I just want somebody to be able to be like,
They're growing out right now. There's nothing happening.
I
down
didn't say
there,
that,
so-
ass. No, yeah,
I mean,
there's
growing everything out.
there's moments where I'm just like, I don't think I'll ever go bald in my life. I did that in high school because my ex-girlfriend back then was like, let's both do it. And I'm like, cool. And it sucks.
No, dude, it's not. It's horrendous.
So
It is so uncomfortable.
That brings us to our sponsor, Manscaping. What is that called? People always cut.
Manscaped,
Is
yeah.
it Manscaped?
Yeah, they got the lawnmower
See?
2.0 or
You
3.0.
we could sponsor you right in the middle of
Something
our ball
like that.
talk. Because a lot of it's meant for your balls anyways.
Well, no, that whole thing is legitimately meant to.
But they show in the commercial them doing their face too, though.
Well, yeah, but we all know what Manscaped is with the lawnmower.
Is that weird to go from your balls to your face?
I don't think so.
But anyways,
I don't know.
yeah, I want to throw out polls to viewers. But like, do you think we should move into a bigger spot and not be so squished against each other?
We should. Or
Do you guys
change the
want to do
layout.
a Kickstarter? Yeah, so Declan keeps going like, oh, are we going to talk about this movie? We're going to talk about that movie? And I'm like, well, I don't want to talk about it until it's pretty much relevant. And let's be real, Zack Snyder's, how's it called? Batman and Superman. What is it called? Justice League has been in development for like 2 fucking years, I think, since he left it. And to make the story short, it was really bad. Horrible movie. Joss Whedon filmed like 3 or 4 scenes. They blamed everything on Joss Whedon. The guy that plays Cyborg kept going out saying Joss Whedon's a horrible director. He treats people like shit. He harasses people. I think Gal Gadot supposedly was supposed to say something, but it was all hearsay. The dude that played Cyborg was absolutely quoted saying everything. And it's because he has nothing to fucking do. He's got no acting career. Everyone else is too busy making movies, and he's the only one that keeps talking shit and saying WB's, not backing him. And it's like, no shit, you're tarnishing a film right now that's not doing too good. He got let go recently for good. He's not going to be in any future projects. Flash was going to have him in it as a cameo partner in it. I don't know. But Snyder being pissed off that his piece of work didn't get to be put out. His son, I believe, died near the end of filming, so he couldn't do it. Now he's like, okay, I'm not the biggest Snyder fan. I don't like, I don't know if you've watched his, 300 I think fits his tone.
I like 300.
It's not bad. Watchmen, it's okay. He literally copied the book until the end, so there's not much you really could screw up. Cinematography's great, I think, with Snyder. He does really good cinematography. But that's mainly on your cinematographer, not really on you as a director, in my opinion. But, what's it called? Dawn of the Dead was okay.
Did Dawn of the Dead?
He did the remake where they ran hella fast.
Oh, okay. Where they're trying to get the
If you notice, like it's like a blue hue through the whole movie. Yeah.
Okay.
That's like his filter.
That movie's actually terrifying as a kid. Because I remember
I think
watching
it's
that as a
terrifying as
kid.
an adult,
Well, I
man.
mean, in general, any zombie that runs that fast.
Oh, it's scary. Yeah.
Holy shit.
And the beginning seems terrible with the little girl.
The little girl?
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of all his movies. Again, it's just that he's got to put the hue on it and stuff. I wouldn't say he's like a horrible director. I'm just not the biggest fan. But, anyways, he wants to fix it all up. He said, I have a Snyder cut that's ready to go.
Didn't have
2 years ago, he said that. And then now, I believe they put $10 million for reshoots to add more dark side, which I don't get it. People are like, it's going to basically be a new movie. They teased a picture of Joker yesterday, and it's a blurry scene.
I did see something about
blurry, like he's holding something, and it's making him blur. He looks like Heath Ledger, kind of behind the blur. He has long hair. Jared Leto does have long hair right now at the moment, so that makes sense to me.
I don't that Joker
It depends how he plays them. If he is
No,
he
no,
gonna have
no.
all the tattoos and shit
I-
over him, or
there. If it's Leto, then would he not be the same Joker? I don't want that
if you're
Joker.
smart, Zack Snyder could be like, can you tone it down a bit? People love that Joker. To me, that
Why?
Joker wasn't like. That was like a Joker, like a cosplayer doing a really bad impression of him. Like, it's like, stop. You're not Joker.
Like he was crazy, but he wasn't.
There's a
the
but see, my
typical-
thing is, there's a lot of crazy people like in movies and stuff like that. But there's a certain type of je ne sais quoi, or as the French say,
Certain type of thing.
I don't know what. But there's a certain thanks, Declan. You chime
in once to just
chimed in just to
correct you,
correct me or to translate me.
I guess.
But there's a certain type of crazy for Joker, and you can again we've seen many Jokers through the years, and you can do them differently. But
that was a little too much.
who knows what his part is? But I feel like they're shoving everything in the kitchen sink to make people watch it. We are going to buy HBO Plus, so they are winning because we need to have it to have access to talk about it. This is how it works to be kind of what we're doing, kind of like press in a way. So we're going to have to watch it. We're going to have to talk about it. But a big thing with the movie coming, it's making people laugh at it. And I was going to say Joss Whedon. Zack Snyder does not like the fact that people are making a joke out of his movie. But I mean, come on, it's done.
It's DC.
It's
as well.
it's almost like when you do the whole Star Wars and then add like the effects and then all that stuff. That's a little different. But when you're adding in a whole another hour worth of movie and like a lot of people already laughed at Star Wars. I mean, back then we were excited to see Jabba added into A New Hope, but then if you watch it now, it's horrible CGI.
Oh yeah, terrible.
There's a lot of stuff to say about that, but anyways, that's a slight change compared to what they're doing now, where it's almost supposedly the story is changing a little bit, and they show Darkseid, who looks horrible. I'm hoping it's because I'll be honest if I like it or not. Like I tell people a million times, Shazam is my favorite DC movie. But again, they're gonna be like, "Oh, you're a Marvel fan because it's bright and stuff." It was well done. What can I tell you? But with this, it's just something that it's already been done. I don't really need it done, but now it's dividing people again. Thank God that no one's storming anyone's houses or anything like that. But it is making people go on two different spectrums, and a lot of people will say like, "Oh, it's Marvel people hating on DC people." Some people don't mind.
What you doing?
Like, I'm gonna bring up a quote. People don't mind liking both. For me, as comics, I like both a lot, but I just don't need the same bullshit shoved down my throat. Batman, I'm usually into it because it is dark. If Snyder did a straight Batman, minus Affleck, because I do not like Affleck. I was watching the fight again the other day with this whole Save Martha part, and I just cannot stand his voice. I cannot stand his computerized voice. I've just grown up with Michael Keaton.
Like nuts?
That subtle whisper.
What's subtle whispering?
How Batman talked like, I'm Batman. Like, it was just fucking cool.
Subtle? I don't know if subtle is a weird word I'd use.
What would you use?
Bold and brash.
I wouldn't go so bold. It was very... It's almost...
Michael Keaton's performance is weird in that movie.
It was almost scary because he's, like, too calm. Like, he's hanging a guy over a ledge, and he's like, I'm Batman. You know, it's just like... If some guy just yelled at me, I'm Batman, I'd been
He
like...
brings him real close, too. He's like getting real into
Yeah, he wants you to fucking fear him. So, anyways, this was on Bleeding Cool. We wrote an article basically about this let's say artist as writer, basically saying that, you know, there's no such thing as a perfect fan base, blah, blah, blah. He writes about how it's just kind of how, and you can't do this, what he's saying. Like, fan bases keep your other fans in check. Like, you're writing death threats to someone, I need to come and check you. Be like, hey man, not cool.
I mean, yeah, you probably should. I mean, nobody should be writing death threats to anybody.
Yeah, but when it gets to that huge of a group, fan base,
Well, yeah,
we can't keep track of everybody and all that. You were saying more or less.
Zack Snyder.
Schneider.
Yeah, the sample size that he's talking about, like, yeah.
Well, this dude is a writer for Bleeding Cool, so he's writing from his perspective. Now, my thing is, again, you go like DC Marvel, okay? I am a Marvel fanboy to an extent because, number one, I was raised off Marvel, and the only thing I ever read was Batman. Batman was cool as fuck. Superman was a pussy, and I didn't like pussies in my life at the time, as a young child.
You're a real Superman hater.
He's boring.
To you.
What do you do when you have, like, a Jesus God person that he only dies from one substance?
But he doesn't even die.
You played the dichotomy of a...
Him and his words he uses trying to sound smart to me. What does that mean?
Oh, now he's gonna be all... I'm not
The
talking.
dichotomy means it's the difference.
So why'd you say the difference?
Because the dichotomy is a nice sounding word, and I like to say it. You just played the dichotomy of why would a... This is a Lex Luthor argument, too, is he can't fathom the reason that Superman would be pure good. It's like, why would a god figure who could do anything and kill anybody on the face of the earth spend all this time saving the innocent, right? You play to that strength. You play to
But there's a lot of good guys that are very powerful that, like, Thor doesn't need to worry about all the realms, to be honest with you, but he does. He tries to protect every realm.
Okay.
But Midgard, us,
Yes.
he fell in love with Silver Surfer.
Okay.
Fucking amazing power cosmic being that could probably beat the shit out of Superman. I put my money on the Silver Surfer. But he cared for Earth for some reason. But they have flaws, and they have inner monologue. The biggest thing with Superman's inner monologue, and I hate to go so far off of the movie, though, is always, I'm worried about getting caught. And what did do good, and again, I don't want to go far off this, was Smallville, and everyone said Smallville was a Marvel version of a DC property. And it kind of was, if you look at it from like a Spider-Man point of view. He was struggling with relationships, with family. He was struggling with being a teen growing up with these powers. And also being so much of an outcast, but not an outcast where it could even be voiced, I guess, because of his powers or whatever. So that's why, like, when I watched Smallville, dude, I loved fucking Smallville.
That's one of my favorite shows.
Like, I don't like Superman, but that Smallville was great. They did a good job, and it was... You felt for the kid. And Superman, again, you have to remember, me jumping in the 90s, this was just Superman just fighting. You know, Brainiac shows up, he fights and stuff, and then, like, Doomsday story happened, and it was like...
the 90s wasn't a...
But you have to remember...
It's the 90s was like the attitude era of wrestling, though, right?
Further you go... No, it was just really bad. It was like...
It was just really bad?
It was just
really
really
I thought you were
bad.
going to say there's some good 90s stuff, but I was getting...
It's minimal.
Okay.
It was
I didn't want to go that far because I'm not a huge comic book guy.
flashy hologram covers.
Everybody had pouches.
People, yes. Everyone, they over-ordered everything. So
Aquaman had a hook for a hand?
He got the hook, but see, that was a badass
That's pretty sick,
Aquaman.
though.
He was savage. He had a huge beard and all that. But the problem was they oversaturated the market. But what happened is, it got so oversaturated, people didn't give a fuck about it and started to, I don't care about this comic, don't care about this comic. Now, if you go back to 90s comics, those have actual value.
Yeah.
The most graded comic, I think, in the world probably is first appearance of the Black Suit, Deadpool's first appearance, all 90 comics.
Wait, Secret Wars was a 90s comic?
Who?
Secret Wars was a 90s comic?
I think it was late 80s, if anything. You could probably use the computer to check it out. If not, the Black Suit did start around the 90s era. But I digress. That it was hard for me to get into DC. So when it came to the movies, I was always open, and I will not tell you, man. I cannot tell you how much I love Michael Keaton and Batman. It was done right. To this day, it holds up. I will tell you, maybe people love. I have friends on forums that will tell me Batman Returns is the best Batman movie. I don't feel that way. I think Penguin was done creepy but cool. I don't know if it's my kind of Penguin, but
The best one is Batman Begins.
it was a really good Penguin.
Batman Begins is the best one, in my opinion.
Well, I'm just going through like the early stuff. So it's like
Oh, okay.
with Batman, but see the Penguin had like penguins with rockets on them, and they kind of
1984.
Penguin.
1984.
First appearance was 1984. In Amazing
I was
Spider-Man
born.
252.
See, it's funny because they didn't explain how he got his suit yet. Secret Wars is the one that
But this is the first appearance.
where it appeared or whatever. It's weird. But anyways, what are you gonna say? You said Penguin.
Oh yeah, they made Penguin too much like
That
a
Danny DeVito?
penguin. Like, they made
That's
him
what
a
he looks
monster.
like.
Well, they did a good backstory. He was like a circus freak kind of thing. They didn't do him how he is in the comics, where he was a mobster.
But he's a little bit. He looks.
He was a mobster with a big nose that used umbrellas as weapons.
He looks like the comic book version. He's just
This one they
dirtier.
made gross, and
They made him
his hands had like he was deformed,
disgusting individual.
and like the
propped
traveling
up.
circus thing kind of
Yeah.
picked him up or whatever.
And him eating
Anyways.
fish on the stairs was weird.
Yeah, it looked. I'm sorry, the fish looked good to me always as a kid.
So during that time, they had Twinkies that
Cigars,
were.
1984 too. It came out the same year.
My birthday.
They had Twinkies that were
I
covered in
wonder I'm
like white
connected to
chocolate.
symbiote.
Like Twinkies that were covered in like white chocolate, and they had like strawberry filling. I ate that during that time I was watching those movies, and for whatever reason, every time I see that scene, I think about eating those Twinkies with the
Dude, is
strawberry
your brain
fillings.
fucking weird? It does it all the time. Like, apparently, smells are the most like memory activating.
Oh yeah.
Sense you can have, and that's why nostalgic smells hit people hard. Like
Yeah.
fresh Magic cards are like you crack.
It's
Magic
sad,
cards,
like anxiety wise. Like I remember walking by the cafeteria,
Good.
nervous to go to school. So now, if I smell that
cafeteria smell.
that cafeteria smell,
That's like
it takes me back all the way to being 5-year-old Ernie and like wanting to go home. It's so weird. But then there are good smells, like walking into Disneyland. I love Disneyland, and you smell the waffle maker stuff. Oh my! First of all, smell of waffle cones getting made are just delicious. That smells delicious. But yeah. But anyways, going on tangent here. So basically, I don't want to be like, oh, I'm just all pro Marvel. DC laid the foundation. They were doing great movies, and then they were like, we got to make up for kiddies, blah blah blah. So we got, Schumacher never wanted to do Batman Forever the way they did it, but they're still close to my heart. I love all those movies. How bad Batman and Robin was, it got so bad that it was funny.
The back
Yeah,
card.
it's like a cult classic.
Yeah, it's
Like
a great movie.
He's got the back card on it.
Yeah, when does Batman come to like a?
And if a Batman has a credit card, that credit card can be checked. But who has
Wait.
that? Is the bank account under the name Batman?
First name Bat, last name Man.
And what is the bank that it's affiliated with?
I went to social.
Is it a Wayne?
He did, but I think the whole thing is it's Batman, so they just let him go. They're like, "Can we see your ID?" And he's like,
Why would Batman? I think Batman would just carry cash around with him, right?
No,
Right?
"That's
No.
that's kind of fucked."
No, I
up."
think he would actually have a card.
I don't know if you know those suits. Those suits look like you could really get.
There's
in
a
and
scene
out.
in Justice League Unlimited, I think, where there's
Pulling
like
out
a
his crotch and shit.
Oh,
Moist.
gross.
Gooey.
In Justice League Unlimited, there's like I can't remember what the name of the bad guy is, but he's like making everybody start to fall asleep, and he's drawing his power on that, and he keeps trying to taunt Batman. So Batman keeps playing music, he busts the window out of the Batmobile to blow air in it, and eventually he goes and gets coffee, and he throws cash on the fucking thing. So Batman, confirmed, carries cash on him. Because Cash is, in my opinion, he's got gloves on, so he doesn't have to worry about
Is it
fingerprints,
Cash is king?
right? And it never gets tracked back to him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We learned that
Fingerprints?
we did learn in Dark
With
Knight
gloves.
they
yes,
were marking
but
bills. in
Did
Dark
he
Knight.
Did he grab the money?
I'm pretty sure
without-
Batman would think about that.
Probably would.
Yeah,
Bruce
it's Batman.
Wayne. I mean, he probably actually prints that shit in his house.
So, reeling this all back in, the whole point of me talking about this is
Toxic
yes.
fan base.
No, the whole point is though I'm saying
Lubba-dubba.
I am a big Marvel fan more than DC.
Yeah, you're a
But-
fanboy.
Yes, but DC fucking laid that groundwork that I was a DC fanboy. There was Marvel was garbage movie wise. DC was fucking destroying it with Jack Nicholson and Michael Keaton. And I was a Batman fanboy. I can't say DC, but I will tell you this. I watched the Lois and Clark TV show. I mean. I watched the Flash TV show. The old dude. It was weird. Mark Hamill was a trapster in it. And he comes back as a trapster.
The
in
Trickster.
Trickster.
Which is also a great Justice League United episode.
But anyways, that's why I hate people who are like, oh, you just like Marvel. I'm like, dude, Marvel's knocking them out of the park right now. What do you want me to tell you? But I did grow up on it, but I am a huge Batman fan. So, again, back to the toxic stuff, I already get, people giving me shit when I bring up things like this. For me, the Snyder thing is bullshit. I think it was him trying to make a saving grace of a movie that he thought was going to be big. There's already a guy talking, the guy that made the Suicide Squad, I forgot his name.
Yeah, he wants a cut.
He already wants to do his own cut. And it's like, so is that what we're doing now? We're fucking up on movies that don't do so well? And we're going to come back and we're going to re-edit it and stuff. That shit comes back 20 years later, not even a recut, just with deleted scenes. So I don't get why people think we could go make a whole nother movie. But whatever. If people want to give the money out, Warner Brothers, again, I think we've talked about this many times. They just need a guy to oversee everything, like Kevin Feige does. That's it. I can sit here and make the whole DC universe work. And I'm not even a smart man. You hear how I talk. You hear the words I can't pronounce. I can still make it. I'm half retard. I can still make DC work and follow it. And that's not insult to people that are mentally ill.
Does that mean you have an extra quarter chromosome?
Maybe.
You don't have an extra full chromosome?
So, anyways, they go on and say how toxic they are. And I just want to read what basically
the Snide Master said.
Snyder said in rebuttaling with Cineblin, I think it was, because I'm reading from Bleeding Cool, but he said, and so in what would do you have a credibility anywhere to anyone? I would love the opportunity to just say it to the world and to the fandom in general, who these fakers are and what should be done to them or with them. It's a bunch of BS. In regards to the toxic fandom, or its win for toxic fandom, again, in what world does this toxic fandom raise hundreds and hundreds of dollars for suicide prevention? How is a toxic fandom? They've probably achieved more than any other fan base and done more good than any other group. So I don't understand. I just think that it's sour grapes. That's really no other way to say it. We know that people who were the architects of the narrative, and it's pretty obvious that what their agenda is. Those are people that I've been held back from confronting by wiser people in the room, because I'd love to get some of these characters. I would love to get at some of these characters. I thought he meant superheroes. Some direct conversations would be nice, just to say, one, you don't know shit about what you're talking about, and we can break down everything we've ever said. I can make a list. There's a few other guys where I could just get a list of everything they've ever said that they thought was right, and I could tell them every single thing they've said is wrong. So
what's his point?
This was him replying to basically, what do you think about having a toxic community backing up your movies, kind of, and then him going on about bad experience with his fandom, and essentially said that they are making it all up. But
his fandom's making it all up?
People are making up that there's a toxic fandom.
Well, I mean,
but the problem is toxic fandom exists, and number one thing I'll throw out there is Rick and Morty.
Wubba lubba dub dub.
I fucking love Rick and Morty.
I don't know many people that hate it.
It's great, but what happened is the fandom kind of ruins it.
Yeah.
And it makes you go, I don't want to be part of this group, but will I still catch every season?
Yeah.
God damn it, I'm in.
Depends.
You son of a bitch.
You son of a bitch, I'm in. I didn't see it so much in South Park, to be honest with you. And that's funny, because South Park's been around for, 20 years or so? 18, 15?
South Park doesn't really cater to a specific audience, necessarily. It just kind of shits on everyone. Rick and Morty clearly, as a get-go,
but see,
pandered to a group of pseudo-intellectual internet nerds, right?
Mm-hmm.
A bunch of people who think they're like that identify with it. This is the Rorschach problem.
This is why
people.
Go ahead.
This is why I hate when people say they like Rorschach. Rorschach is not a good guy.
Oh, I thought you meant
No.
Rorschach. This is why we shouldn't be using Rorschach.
Talk about the character of Rorschach, right? You know this. People say all the time that, oh, I love Rorschach, or he's so cool, right? And he's kind of the standout character from Watchmen, right? But he's a bad guy.
But it's okay to like a bad guy.
Yeah, but the problem is...
As long as you acknowledge that they're a bad guy.
Alan Moore wrote Watchmen?
Yes,
I think Alan Moore came out and said this, too. He's like...
Alan Moore's a fucking asshole.
But he said, I don't understand how people are identifying with Rorschach when I, as a get-go, designed him to be a character that people should see as an asshole. It's trying to do good, but Rick applies, because Rick's a bad dude.
Yeah,
Rick's a bad dude, but people want to be Rick.
But it's weird, because it's a fine line, because you shouldn't want to be... Okay, Deadpool maybe now is a little different, because they gave him more of a heart, but previously everyone's like, I'm Deadpool, everyone's like, I'm Rick Sanchez, I'm Joker.
Rick's not an anti-hero.
And
Rick's a bad guy.
And with all these guys, but Rick does have a heart, though. We've seen many times he's done things selfless, but no one else sees it in his world but him. We see it as an audience, and you really feel bad for Rick.
Sometimes he does it, and he's ashamed of doing good.
Yeah, no, that's true too. But I said
he's a redeemable character, but he's not a good guy.
There are moments that you're like, this dude's fucking sick when he walks in a room, and people fucking are like, oh, like that Blade idea where you walk in and they're like, it's the Daywalker, or Mandalorian walks into a room and everyone kind of goes, oh shit,
You're not gonna get that in real life,
but. Well, again, but like this is what makes Rick cool a lot. This is what makes a lot of these characters cooler because of that. Joker is a different story for me. Joker is what he is. I like getting some of his because there's a fine line they always say between insanity and genius. I like the genius that you can hear from Joker sometimes.
Well, Heath Ledger's Joker is a perfect example of that.
Some of his quotes are just like I was telling Lucas the other day. Like I loved one of his quotes, but there's a ton of good quotes. Just even in the comics, but you shouldn't thrive to be this guy.
Yeah,
because this guy is not who you want to be.
I would apply that to both Rick and Rorschach. And that want to be them.
And that's the same thing of people that want to be. I want a relationship like Joker and Harley on Facebook. They share that, and I'm like, no. Especially a girl that puts it out there. You want a guy that physically abuses you, that doesn't give a fuck about you. Like, do you read the fucking comics? And I don't want to be that guy, because then I turn into a toxic community. Because I'm like, do you fucking read the books? You get kind of mad about it.
I mean, it's just...
But it's almost the same as, like, should you like Darth Vader? Because Darth Vader...
Liking a character and admiring a character are different things, though.
Because there's a difference with the Darth Vader we see through the comics and stuff right now. He's a pretty evil bastard. Once you get to the end, he's redeeming himself. But look at the one that... How badass is he when he's like, find those guys? He says, I'm looking at all dead men right now, or some shit.
They're like all come around him, and he's saying, I'm standing against a bunch of dead men, or something like that.
It's just fucking dope.
Yeah, they say something in response, and he's like, no, just a bunch of dead men.
Like, my favorite thing was with Rick.
Cool.
One of my favorite scenes. Rick, I think, is awesome.
But you don't want to aspire to be
Rick is always 5 steps ahead. That's why I like Rick. I love when he's stuck in the Oval Office.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm Doctor Who in this bitch. And I'm like,
dude, with snakes.
That's just fucking sick.
Disintegration ray snake launcher in the boot.
Yeah, that was sick. But, like I said, it does create this toxic group of people. And then they get mad when you speak up and say, I don't like the way you're perceiving this character. Mm-hmm. And you're like, what right do you have to tell me how I like a character?
Yeah. I mean,
because we honestly don't have a right to tell how people, but it's fucking in the fucking ink of the fucking book that Joker beats Harley.
Yeah, no, I get that.
No, I'm saying, but like, how can you get mad and get mad at me for saying that's a toxic fan base? Joker and Harley shippers or whatever. So when it comes to this movie, this movie is a team that took the L.
Well, a toxic fan base is a little bit different than people who like bad things, right? A toxic fan base. Well, I wouldn't say it's
bad things, because you can enjoy the dynamic of Joker and Harley.
Yeah,
just know it's
when you're vocal about it, right?
Just know it's a bad thing.
Yeah, to be self-aware of the thing you're supporting.
But like I said, when it comes to this movie, they did open up floodgates for people that are going, this is a great idea, this is awesome. Then you got other people like me that are like, what are we doing? Why aren't we worried about jumping off the DC universe in a better way? And then we got the new Batman that I'm stoked about for Robert Pattinson. But it's like, are we not worrying about that right now?
Then we're not on fan basis, though. Then we're going back to talking about the Snyder Cut. We can have this whole conversation when we watch the Snyder Cut. I'm saying this is just opening up because of basically people are saying that their fan base is more toxic than a lot of bases. The Snyder Cut fans. Because they're giving you every excuse in the book why this is all okay. I don't know. I could go on Reddit and find like 20 more fan groups that are far more like...
Dude, I can pull up Reddit for CSGO, League of Legends, and they
Again, I don't get it. All these... I'm going to say it. All these fucking rich people in Hollywood take this abuse on the internet, right? And, Zack Snyder or the reporters, they get attacked and stuff like that. But it's like, honestly, they're just fucking dudes in their basement. And they're all over the internet at this point. Like, toxic people will find things to be toxic about.
Yeah.
The key is to just
what
ignore
sucks,
them. The more you pay attention, the more you call out toxic fan bases, or you try to self-monitor a toxic fan base, the louder the toxicity is going to get. You know, you just have to fucking suck it up.
You do
to a certain extent,
well,
right? And nobody wants to hear that because bullying is one thing, and that's like a whole argument that we could get into. But when it comes to death threats, that's a whole different line. Like if you're threatening somebody online, you're committing a crime, right?
All right. Yeah.
You're.
Well, I mean, I'm
right. And if Twitter's going to take you off for being toxic, that's Twitter's responsibility.
No, I'm going to tell you right. I could pull up tweets where people say I'm going to kill you, and they're still tweeting.
You have to be able to
be popular enough to be seen.
First off, you have to fit a certain agenda.
Yeah.
If we're talking about, and that also comes down to that too. Is if you're on a certain platform, it's up to that platform's discretion. It's a responsibility. It's not the community's responsibility to monitor their Twitter. It's Twitter's responsibility to monitor it. Right?
So okay, let me put it like this: what makes a fan base turn toxic? What makes them become a toxic fan base?
Adhering to a group of connecting to a group of individuals that this is their life, right? Mm-hmm. Like the biggest example is BTS fans. You know what BTS is? It's some K-pop group, but they're like one of the most active like fan bases in the whole world, and you know they do a lot of like. Apparently, they mess with a lot of like help a lot of YouTubers and stuff like that. They do a bunch of other shit, but basically, you know, it's a group of people that all they do is they follow this group and they live vicariously through this group, and they live vicariously on the internet through this community. They're not doing what we're necessarily the loud vocal ones aren't doing what we're doing right now, where we're conversating in person, right? They're sitting on the internet having conversations in blocks and in seconds, and that's their life, you know. If they work, they come home from work, and that's all they're on the computer.
But that makes it a toxic.
No,
community.
I think part of what would start making toxic is when they won't accept facts that are there. They will try to undermine everything you do. They start doing threats and they shut down conversation.
So here are the three that I see the most. Again, slam me all you want because I'm not throwing Marvel in there because I haven't seen Marvel as much, but maybe that's because I don't know. Maybe Marvel is, but DC Cinema or DCU is pretty bad. But I think it's because they got so many losses that they get mad. People will go, "Man, it's still the best superhero movie I've ever seen." I'm like, "Are you fucking high?" Like I feel like they're trying to, and then they argue with you and argue with you and argue with you, and I just
how do you know you're not getting trolled?
I could be. Rick and Morty, and
Star Wars.
Thank you.
Star Wars is the easiest one. Star Wars, hand down, is the most toxic fan base
because
they hate themselves, right? And I like Star Wars, but I hate parts of Star Wars.
There's a shit ton we all hate. I think.
But they grasp on to like the past, and I was reading something about Pokemon fans too.
Overwatch.
They'll never be satisfied with the new product.
Star Wars.
They'll never be satisfied with the new product. No matter what the new thing is, there will always be contingency of the fan base that doesn't like it. Even if Rogue One comes out, and Rogue One is a objectively good movie, there will still be people that
not to throw Donnie under the bus. I feel Donnie's pretty toxic Star Wars fan.
To you.
To me.
He's not online, though. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Real toxicity is being online about it.
Okay. But like,
he's an asshole.
But he's the one that's like, I wouldn't mind if they threw away all the future movies, the ones we just had. And I said that kind of sucks because all the work they put into, I do care about a lot of those actors. I think some of them had good performances. It's just we had shitty fucking story, written.
Yeah, we had no.
And then he's like, I don't care. He's like, if Lucas overseen the next sequels, I'll be fine. I'm like, you're talking the same guy that watched over the prequels. Holy fuck! I was just watching New Rockstar's breakdown of the Clone Wars. It is so creepy and eerie dialogue that who let this slide through?
Oh, you're talking about between
Padme
and Anakin?
And then he's like looking at her. He's like,
dude, yeah, that whole.
Don't look at me like that. Why? And it's just like, whoa! I didn't pick this up as a kid. And then he's like, floating you a pair. She's like, huh. I'm like, dude, I could have wrote this better in 8th grade. Like the romance. That blossomed.
So there is
I got a couple questions.
Some people.
Why do you think that's Steven Universe?
I
I love Steven Universe. Go ahead.
There is someone did a theory on like what would have happened if Anakin killed Obi-Wan, and they said that Padme pretty much is just likes power. Pretty much, like she would have been drawn to the power anyway, so that's why even that creepy stance.
It makes you.
It is, but if you look at how that whole sequence is, like she took abuse.
Well,
through all that shit.
I guess she's not forced, but it's like they're saying Darth Maul cut in half, comes back. Anakin burnt to a crisp, comes back.
Has two babies.
Padme is like she's sad, dies like a broken heart, and that's just. My wife argues with me all the time that you could die of a broken heart.
You can't.
No, it's different. If you look at it, because she's trying to show me how elephants do, but it's because they're so depressed, they don't eat, they don't sleep, all that stuff.
Yeah, broken heart syndrome.
But that's not you.
That's
literally,
what it's called.
Your broken heart, and you're like,
no,
I died because my heart broke.
That's not. It's not. You're taking it so literally.
Whatever.
You act like the heart is actually.
Point.
You act like the heart's the actual center of emotions.
Your heart is shaped just like this.
You think if I just and if I hit it with a little ball-peen hammer, it'll crack right in half?
Yeah.
I guess you could say that you became in such emotional distress that you signals in your brain that just said, you know what, you're done. And it does happen, but it usually happens towards the end of life. Where people are like, I'm done, they can actually legitimately pass
most of the time
sleep,
it's
and they get like, I'm done.
Grandmas and grandpas, like older ones, usually when one dies 2 or 3 years later. The other
I mean, like...
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. Well, I heard Steven Universe, and
Steven!
So I'm going to go over a couple fan bases that they have here. I just looked up. I looked up most toxic fan bases just to get a list.
He's hilarious.
It's just Steven Universe is a weird fucking show. It gets.
I know. I've seen it.
It got really weird. They're very LBGT.
It panders a little, and that's not the issue. The issue is the first couple seasons they have that kind of stuff. The issue is that they fall so far into that it just becomes unenjoyable anymore. It's so like it's like every time I watch it, I'm watching LGBT propaganda, and there's anything wrong with people that are LGBT. The issue is, can't I just have some organic storytelling and just have characters in it? I guess not anymore. Right?
I would highly recommend watching like the first 2 seasons, and they're solid. Mm-hmm. There's nothing really forced. It's really funny. You don't really think about it.
No.
He thinks about his mom a lot and stuff. Then they go super fucking deep, and that's where I kind of fell off.
Agreed.
Where it gets too deep, and like we're about to cry watching.
But apparently that's a toxic fan base too.
I could imagine.
I wouldn't be very surprised.
So is that number one?
Well, no. Here's one thing though. Kids' TV shows with adult fan bases are some of the most toxic.
My Little Pony.
Not even that. Like Transformers. Transformers fans are some of the most annoying.
John's here, dude. Don't be careful.
What? John's here?
I've never heard anything bad about Transformers.
What about Metalheads?
Never heard of it.
No. I think if any music people are toxic.
What Metalhead?
Metal.
Depends.
The music.
Like what kind of metal? Because
what's the most
music?
toxic
It is music has gatekeepers. Hella hardcore.
Well, Donnie's a gatekeeper.
They're just like, what do you know about it? Like before you walk in here and listen to music, what do you know about it? And thank God those people don't exist that control your YouTube channel. Because you're like, oh, new rappers out. Let me check this. And this guy pops up, like, why are you going to watch this?
Yeah,
like,
right.
I heard good stuff about it. Like, what do you know about rap? Tell me your favorite rap song. Who's your favorite rapper? Who discovered rap?
Yeah.
Wrong.
Every response is either wrong or you want to listen to that album.
I can see metal fans.
I think any music,
hardcore music fans in general. If you like one genre of music and that's the only genre of music you listen to,
I think guys maybe like our age that are metal or whatever, like my dad raised me on this shit. Like, what do you know about it?
The worst fan base is the people that are anti-fan base. Because some of the most toxic.
You're talking about the guys that don't want anyone to like their shit.
I'm talking about the most toxic people on the internet are the people that, hey, I like this thing, and then people immediately just shit on that, right?
You mean
people that undiscriminately, like, anytime anybody has an opinion about anything, or like, you know, I say, oh, I would really like to see Zack Snyder's movie, and people are like, shut up, you fucking Zack Snyder lover. Those are the worst people.
Well, do you want
the anti-fans, the anti-movement?
Here's what blows my mind: people that turn on someone so fucking fast. Now, Sam Raimi's films are not my favorite anymore. just because better things for me have come along.
Still my favorite suit.
I don't like that pop-up.
You know?
Third one is fucking horrible.
Yeah.
1 and 2, okay movies.
Yeah.
2's a pretty good fucking movie.
Yeah.
1's a good movie. Toby's kind of hard now.
The second one's kind of scary.
Spider-Man's.
The second one's hella scary.
For Sam Raimi's. But people will be like, Sam Raimi's movies are fucking garbage. I'm like, you literally were sucking the teat of them.
But I'm talking about the people that are like, you go online and you say, I like the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies. And the people that only comment is to shit on your opinion, you know?
Yeah, but I'm saying, but a lot of times those people were already liking it a long time ago, and then now it's the cool thing. Now it's the cool thing to say Nolan's Batmans are fucking horrible.
Yeah,
I'm like, get it. Are you fucking high?
No, I don't get it.
Like, I get it, you got a new fucking spoonful.
But it's like the same fucking people.
If you get a spoonful of the Dark Knight, or whatever, not the Dark Knight, the Batman versus Superman, Ben Affleck's the best fucking shit ever. Dude, Batman Begins is one of the best origin stories, hands down, done in film. I would say the next one, and this is going to be very, controversial. I think the next one, the next best origin stories, because it actually covers the origin, is Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange does a great job of A to B, him becoming finally Doctor Strange. Yeah. Batman Begins is A to B, him becoming Batman. There's two.
Iron Man.
Iron Man's up there, but Doctor Strange, I know Iron Man, I think it's a better movie. But I think Doctor Strange just does a really good job of, fuck, dude, that it's just.
He's an asshole at the beginning.
That whole, so is
he learns
Iron Man. So is Iron Man, but that whole fucking
Iron Man's still an
teach
asshole
me
at the end of the
moment.
movie.
It's just like, this is sick, dude. Like he's got to come from the bottom now. Is it? But yeah, and I think a lot of people though, also, and I fell into this where I'm like, I like Deadpool, and then it's like, oh fuck, everyone likes Deadpool now, and it gets annoying. You see. I used to go to Comic Cons. No one dressed up as Deadpool. Now everyone's
now it's 20 guys.
Variant of Deadpool. I don't collect Deadpool as much, toy wise, because pops are just ridiculous, and people are like, "Look at my Deadpool collection." I'm not gonna praise you. Go, oh man, that's a great collection, you know, whatever. But if you have rare shit, I'll applaud you for that. To get that, but
just mega nerds, man.
But it's just for me. It's just like even Luke Cage. Like I was like, man, I hope when Luke Cage comes out, it doesn't get oversaturated. Everyone loving him, but at the same time, I have to swallow it.
Well, now your favorite character is getting more.
But at the same
bright side, Ernie. Bright side.
Right. I was gonna say it's the 5-year-old, I guess. I mean, then you got to be happy that hey, they're getting. And then, sadly, Luke Cage is going to take off like someone like Star-Lord or someone did. So if you're a big Star-Lord fan and you try to find every little collectible, and it was probably hard. And then once the movie comes out, boom, Star-Lord everywhere. You know, so it's just one of those things that it kind of it's a vice versa.
You want it to stay yours.
And again, I won't lie, I kind of worry about that. With Taskmaster, I love Taskmaster. I think you like Taskmaster too. We've talked about this.
Yeah, Taskmaster.
Taskmaster's such a good character. He's got a weird fucking past. And
He's got a weird ability.
I'm worried that when he comes out and people get to see him, all of a sudden I'm going to see Taskmaster.
Or her.
It's a dude. He's labeled Tony Alice. Or Tony Alice is a fucking wrestler. Tony Masters. But I'm worried I'm going to see someone with the fucking shield and stuff like that. But again, I shouldn't, because I do want Taskmaster on my arm and stuff. I'm like, I need to hurry up and get it. So people know I'm a fan, but then it's kind of like, that's stupid logic to fall under. But at the same time, it's like, whatever. It is good at the end of the day because you want more people enjoying the movies. But
that means more of the stuff you like gets produced.
But the thing is, I think we're so far past that with Marvel, it doesn't matter. We made a movie with a guy with a talking tree already. I mean, Ant-Man got a fucking movie that connected to Endgame, one of the biggest movies ever.
They made an Inhumans TV show.
Don't watch that.
Don't.
I tried watching the first 2 episodes. Holy
it sucks. The guy that plays Maximus is so good. He's from Game of Thrones. He plays Ramsay in Games of Thrones, and he's the worst piece of shit in that show. And I'm like, I cannot wait for him to meet Maximus. And he did fine in the show, but he wasn't as vile as I wanted him to be. And then,
Black Bolt's not designed for a TV show.
Black Bolt doesn't work. It's so hard for a guy.
He's not the main character,
and he just looks weird in it. They didn't do good with
his name's Blackagar Boltagon.
I don't know what that's got to do with anything.
That's his fucking name. He's a dumb character. I love.
He looks badass.
I love Black Bolt. He's sick as fuck. But the fact he talks doesn't mean you should ever make him the main character or anything.
Well, he's just the leader of He's the king.
Yeah, but he's not the main character.
Medusa just translates for him.
I know. That's why you make Crystal or someone else.
Crystal was in it.
She's in it. But if I'm making a TV show, I'm not including Black Bolt at all. I'm not having Black Bolt seen. The Black Bolt is a Hulk level threat, right?
Yeah.
Like he's planet destroying.
They really needed to.
Actually, he could be the most powerful character.
They really needed to mix a lot of older Marvel stuff or Marvel shows and stuff with it to kind of give it an oomph, just like how you do.
Or just make a fucking Inhumans movie.
Yeah, or you're give it a jump start. You know what I'm saying? Put some energy into it because it was so dull and boring when they show up.
That thing right back.
Keep that right back.
That right back.
Sorry. All right. Just to close out for our WandaVision talk. Best episode of the series.
Of the series? The fucking show isn't all the way out.
Best show so far of the series.
Best episode so far of the series, in your opinion.
Okay, what's your favorite episode so far?
I don't have a favorite episode.
I like the episode with the magic trick.
Yeah, that's a good.
That was quite entertaining.
It's all pretty,
all around.
It's all pretty corny.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
But this was really fucking cool.
This brought us back to reality.
This showed us all what they watched.
I don't think cool is the word I used to describe this. It wasn't like this crazy.
No, it was so
it tied and brought everything to reality.
It did, but it did. There was nothing that it revealed that was like.
No, but it shows what they're going on the outside. First of all,
we were gonna get that episode.
Great fucking opening.
Right?
Great fucking opening.
Well, yeah, it's sad. It sets up the fucking universe and stuff.
Like it sucked that Spider-Man's blip when they returned. They just appeared on the court and they were like normal. This was tragic looking, where their bodies were like. How Scarlet Witch looks on the cover on House of M.
I was a little confused on how she just like saw people coming back and didn't register or was she just in shock?
She's in shock. She just came back.
And she had her mother.
And she was in an empty room and it was just fucking weird. Yeah. But yeah,
I have a question though. It was 5 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
How does a economy that has adjusted over 5 years to support 4.5 billion people, anywhere from 4.5 to like 6 billion people.
I don't think they ever cover that. I know Tony Stark or
there's 10 billion people on Earth.
Steve Rogers has like a seek out program for people that lost people.
Birth rate.
But anyways, it was bombed. They brought in Darcy back, who calls Thor's hammer Mew Mew, and then we still got back Asian Jim, Randall Park as Jimmy Woo. I love Jimmy Woo as a character. I thought Jimmy Woo's going to be working with S.W.O.R.D. He's still with FBI. Hopefully after this they're going to upgrade him into like working with S.W.O.R.D. or working with S.H.I.E.L.D. because Jimmy Woo did work for S.H.I.E.L.D. and he ended up being part of the Agents of Atlas. But the whole thing of them watching, and she's like, I think I know a way to communicate with them. And I'm like, just looking at Chris like, this is fucking tight. Like, we're seeing like, okay, maybe if I could transmit into the radio, and then it shows the parts that we saw that they can't see, where she erased it or where she cut it out. And it's hella crazy. And you're like, what the fuck? Like, Scarlet Witch is definitely controlling shit.
Well, that's why when that lady got blasted off, she just said, it's Wanda. It's Wanda. It's Wanda.
Well, they're saying that maybe someone's a part in it. And the showrunner said, we are going to get a Luke Skywalker Mandalorian moment in this. Now, few candidates for this. Ultron.
I like my robot boy with his
Quicksilver.
I can see Quicksilver.
Which Quicksilver?
But they say it's a Return of the Jedi moment. Basically, I think to save her. I think it's someone going to save her. My
what's your dark horse?
My dark horse, Magneto.
That was gonna be my dark horse too. That was a good dark horse.
Because that would be, imagine our minds blowing when she's opening up reality and Magneto just shows up.
T-posing to assert dominance.
They could give us a new Magneto. I could give a fuck. It could be you, motherfucker, dressed in red with that bucket on your head.
Nah, better you white.
I would be so stoked to see him just float in, stop all the cars from attacking her, and just like shove it back, and then say like open a portal, and then like she opens it.
I am your
father. Didn't even think about that. Goosebumps. Just because having Magneto pop up means that they're like, we're bringing them in.
Essentially, the multiverse. This is supposed to set up for.
Yeah, it's
for Doctor Strange. So I think the ending is going to. They said like Quicksilver could have maybe something saving her. That would be neat.
I think that would be cool.
Ultron returning. I don't know. But why would Ultron be there? And I think it's someone that's going to save her. Because clearly, holy shit, Vision is dead, right?
Yeah.
How many times did fucking,
He's like dead.
But he's dead. He's
not like blipped. He's dead.
She's winking at Bernie's his ass this whole time. And this is what I've been telling everybody. That this dude doesn't know what's going on. He's just living the life right now. and going along with it, but he is kind of questioning things like, what is going on, or why are we doing this?
What's to say Doctor Strange has been saved?
It could be, but
then they could.
They said it would tie to the multiverse of madness.
It could tie into the.
What if it was one of the?
That's more predictable.
What if it was one of the? Spider-Man?
That's the easiest way to do it because you have Cumberbatch already under contract. You have him already set up for the movie. Cumbersnatch. But I want someone like
Magneto would be fucking
someone like Luke Skywalker where we're like, okay, totally away from the story, come in and open up a whole can of worms to
What if it was Deadpool?
That'd be too much. But Deadpool is in the multiverse.
But that's pretty extra fourth wall, right? Because they're like already like a TV show and a TV show, and then he's like,
God.
I think a cameo would be funny. It would just wrong show.
Like if Darcy's like just sitting there, like I guess it's over, and it just shows Deadpool look like, are you still watching?
You ever see a shot of Jan of what is it, Michael Rooker?
Mm.
On the set of fucking
they never
Thor.
put it in, yeah.
It's so that moment
where he comes with the crowd, he's like, "Hey, where's so and so at?"
Yeah, I want to know her.
Oh,
nah, I'm just gonna go.
It's
or whatever.
Fucking dope.
Oh my god!
So who
do you want, Michael Fassbender or Ian McKellen?
Oh, it has to be Fassbender. But people were saying,
what the fuck? Who's
a certain actor, Viggo Mortensen, has been rumored.
Viggo Mortensen
for Magneto. That was like on the internet for like a day.
Wait.
Viggo? Yes. Type in Viggo Mortensen Magneto. See if anything pops up.
Viggo.
He played Ernie.
Imagine him covered in a beard.
I know who. I'm trying to imagine him as.
He had the picture someone had. He had short white hair and a beard.
Oh shit! Are you fucking kidding me?
Did someone make it?
That's hot. What? That's fucking hot. That's a good looking Magneto.
Ooh.
That's a spicy.
That's actually. That's nice. I like that.
What movie is it in? He's kind of a mafia dude with a fucked up eye. I can't remember, but it looks like that kind of where his hair's kind of slicked a little bit. I don't know.
Oh, he can make Doom though too.
They want
Christoph Waltz,
Gideon
Moff Gideon to play him. They want Giancarlo Esposito.
And the more I've been watching The Boys, the more I hear I can hear Dr. Doom's voice. But he can't be every cool villain in every movie.
Yeah, he can.
But because you don't really need the face, man.
Who else could he play though? Like if we had to include Giancarlo Esposito in our fucking Marvel universe, who would you include him as?
I think he could be. I would allow Magneto, but you mess up the Jewish ties unless he's part Jewish or half Jewish or something.
He's Mexican. That's the problem.
Is he? I don't say he's black.
No, he's Mexican. He's just. I don't really know. I don't really know what the word to describe it. No. So if you go to like Puerto Rico, right? There's a portion of the population that's like Hispanic, and there's a portion of the population that looks African, but that's only because the slaves that were brought over. So there's a dichotomy, and that's what I believe that's what he is. He might be half, or he might be Islander as well. He could be Jamaican or something. I doubt that because his name is Giancarlo Esposito.
Yeah, that show, that episode opened up a lot of stuff, and us seeing her knock Monica Rambeau with a fucking shuriken shit. She gets knocked through every fucking decade.
I'm surprised
she gets knocked through.
Fucking dead.
She gets knocked through every fucking decade. Why does it say
Tom Cruise is Iron Man?
He was tied to Iron Man a long time ago, before RDJ.
So you think he'll show up in a multiverse?
People are thinking that, but it's guessing.
Who's Matt Damon in the Thor movie?
He plays Loki.
No. Who is he gonna be?
They think it's just gonna be a dumb cameo.
The dumb cameo again?
Yeah.
Boom. Give me some Matt Damon.
That song's actually in my head from that scene.
What?
That it's like a sad song that they play. I don't know. It's just in my head.
What are you talking about?
Where Odin's watching the death of Loki, eating grapes, but it's Odin, it's Loki, and it's like they have a statue of Loki.
Who plays Odin again?
You always ask me this. Anthony Hopkins. He's in. But did you know that when she knocks Monica, she goes through every fucking decade.
I didn't actually. If you pay
that. Watch the Easter egg episode.
Watch the episode,
and you'll see.
That's true. I actually did not fully 100% watch.
She breaks through like each decade, and then gets knocked out. But I have a feeling that I heard she died before I watched it, and I was like, oh, that's gonna suck. And then there's a new trailer out that shows her in bed, and they're scanning her and stuff. So
she looks jacked up.
I'm guessing maybe
gonna be a new character.
She's right? Photon. I mean,
maybe this unlocks her powers.
On this cameo.
I think it's going to be
a mutant kind of a thing.
Scarlet Witch power mixed with whatever the shield is they have. I don't know. Maybe something happens.
This CBR they're talking about. or whatever they were talking about.
Oh, the radiation, not
the background radiation, from the Big Bang Theory or whatever.
Well,
cosmic background radiation, CBR, cosmic background.
You guys gotta check out the new trailer. A lot of shit's happening. They show like they're in some kind of tank and they're like ramming through. Oh, and then the swarm guy. What the fuck? Where'd the bees come from? They never explained the bees. I don't get it.
He just, as he was going through that wall,
the suit turned into a beehive suit.
Basically, so this is what they say when the drone goes through, right? When the drone goes through, it situates itself with the rest of the reality, right?
It was still
Nobody had hazmat suits back then. That's the closest thing.
That helicopter still turned into a sword helicopter.
Yes.
That beehive suit still had the sword.
That's what I'm saying, but it changed.
And it's funny, when they watched it, they didn't get to see her go no and rewind it and all that shit.
When he walks through it too, doesn't it cut off the rope too?
And the rope turns into an 80s jump.
That's what I'm saying. So his hazmat suit is just.
But why?
Can I finish the statement? As he's entering the barrier, is going back to the continuity of this universe he's now entered.
But
right?
that's fine. The being a beekeeper suit. Why have bees flying all in your fucking mask and shit? That's weird and creepy.
Because it's just
maybe it was
having her lose touch with reality.
Maybe it's a deterrent.
Because
there's a big point.
What if I put bees in your face? Would you turn around and run away from me if you came up to me and I was like, bees in the face?
Actually, that's a good angle because it's a deterrent for her to try to go through or try to leave.
There's a bunch of hints with hexagons.
Yeah, he did bring up hexagons.
We're not in the DC universe.
But you know
so
why,
what
though?
Could the hexagons
Hex magic.
But then what do the bees have to do with it? Because it's also a beehive shape, right?
Yeah.
So, what the fuck?
I think they're all clues.
Every time I see it, I think in my brain, oh, that's like Hive. But I remember this is a Marvel fucking thing.
Well, then I think Hive mindset is what I was thinking. Because she clearly has...
Is she the queen bee?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people think that. People have said that. I've watched things that go, she's the queen bee of this hive. But that's a little too deep and a little too...
Now somebody's got to go eat all that royal jelly, so one of the men has to go eat all the royal jelly so they can become queen.
But I don't... From now, it's like they just need to get in and get her out. But the big part, again, before closing out everything, is there is a missing person that they have not mentioned. They have not mentioned yet who that missing person is. Why Jimmy?
But it's an FBI missing person is the key. So it couldn't be like someone is...
Jimmy Woo is searching for someone, but that certain person could be either going after Scarlet Witch,
but they don't appear to be on Sword's record, in my idea, though.
Either helping Scarlet Witch or trying to stop Scarlet Witch. Or, who knows? Trying to save her, help her, kill her. That being said, thank you again for joining us.
That's all, folks.
Hopefully we'll have this edited and fixed right. We'll see. New equipment, new lighting.
It'll be fun for him. I fixed his computer, made it work better.
It's going to be nuts. But I'm excited. WandaVision, this is the first time after watching WandaVision, I was like, okay, I need the next episode. Normally, I'm like, I can't. I like to look forward to it. It's just there was too much shit that opened for me. So next week, I'll be super excited to talk about that. And there's a lot of other stuff, too, I've been thinking about us talking about. So hopefully we'll have more fun stuff to talk about. And more movies get released. So
hopefully somebody dies so we can talk about that.
I don't. That's a bit more morbid.
Shit, maybe next time we actually can put, news events on or some shit.
I guess.
All right, next up. But
anyways, someone's at the door. We gotta go. The office is closed.
Just
Bye.
you guys. Bye.